10 people were shot overnight at this club right here behind me, the Deja Vu nightclub on Hamilton Street in Allentown. Now, police say they were called to the scene at 1:56 this morning because of a shooting, but now they're saying they believe there were actually 3 shooters. The U.S. Embassy in Santo Domingo also said they are actively working with the government of the Dominican Republic to make sure U.S. citizens are safe and that they feel safe while visiting. This is the letter the United States Environmental Protection Agency sent to Newark, New Jersey, ordering them to give their residents bottled water because of high lead levels in their drinking water. Now take a look right over here. This is the Saucon Creek, and this actually flows right into the Lehigh River, which is one of the main sources of drinking water in the Lehigh Valley. Over my shoulder is all that's left after a fire tore through 10 houses early Sunday morning here in Allentown, and you can actually hear the crews working. They're still trying to demolish some of those houses and clear up some of the rubble, and that's what these cones are behind me, blocking off that memorial so people can come and pay their respect. Now, one family member told me he will certainly be missed, but we also spoke with neighbors in the area who said something has to be done about this intersection. Imagine having those precious moments taken away because of cancer. Well, that is reality for one Lehigh Valley teenager, but he tells me he is more inspired than ever to make a difference in this world. That is so inspiring. You definitely seem like you have a big heart. And also, I'm aware that you play the piano at some point. You said you played at your aunt's wedding?
Yeah, so I played Imagine by John Lennon.
Set the school record, 2 school records actually, in completions and passing yards in a single game against Inez. So, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. What's next for you now that you've reached that milestone?
Next for me is just continue being a leader for my team.
I need to take a couple of years of German because in high school, I definitely did not have German under my belt. So that is amazing.
It's scary. It's real scary.
Scary is how Daryl Harris described last night. He woke up to gunshots outside the window of his second-floor apartment, which is right next door to the Deja Vu nightclub.
It needs to be more police activity out here. I mean, after 2 a.m., like, you know, people get drunk, people get crazy, you know. So it should be more police activities out here after hours. So that way people could be safe, not just the people, but for the residents and the neighbors.
He said something has to change because the sound of gunshots at the club are becoming too familiar. At least one other shooting and a stabbing have been reported there. Allentown Mayor Ray O'Connell stressed today that people in Allentown are still safe.
We'll continue to enforce the laws that we have, and it would be my mission to put any of these establishments that are a nuisance to the residents and the citizens of Allentown to pursue those establishments and get rid of them. Get them out of the city of Allentown.
The Allentown police chief also gave the same message of safety as he said this incident, just a few blocks from the revitalized city center core, was isolated.
This does not appear to be an indiscriminate shooting. It appears that at least one individual was the target. It
is one of the worst mass shootings ever in the Lehigh Valley. An official said up to 3 shooters may have been involved. A few doors down from Deja Vu is the Allentown Rescue Mission. Program Director Rob Romig said he was immediately notified about the shooting.
The emergency shelter manager called me just to let me know what went on and that everything was secure. Staff and clients as well were secure.
He said none of the residents were involved or hurt, but he has seen changes in the safety of the area.
It has been getting worse as the years have gone by. There are shootings, usually in the vicinity, but a shooting of this magnitude is unheard of.
Police Chief Tony Alslaben said investigators were looking into potential gang ties. All of the victims are expected to survive. If you have information, call the Detective Bureau at 610-437-7721.
Although not confirmed, in our opinion, based upon investigative information at this time, it is more likely than not that the outcome of the investigation will reveal a connection to gang violence. Witnesses and some shooting victims have been uncooperative with the investigation at this point.
It doesn't bother me at all. I mean, it's a nice gesture.
Raymond Miller and his wife go walking in the park off Illicks Mill Road every few days, and Miller also enjoys fishing. He said they noticed the love locks several times, but weren't sure what they meant. And though it doesn't bother him,
it doesn't look that great when you have too many on them.
Jody Evans with the City of Bethlehem said residents have been reaching out to the city to report the locks. She said there are actually more problems than people may realize.
When people do those types of things, they are not looking at the big picture, looking at the fact that if everybody continues to do this, this could cause a structural damage situation.
Evans said this trend is popular in Europe as well. The Public Works Department here in Bethlehem removed several locks from this bridge about a month ago, but people have already started putting locks on the bridge again. She said some local people like the idea and others are against it.
It's supposed to be a natural environment. Locks on a bridge really does not create that environment. So, you know, there's both sides that you can look at and understand, but from a city standpoint, we have to do what's best for our residents, and we need to make sure that we are preserving the natural resources that the parks provide.
Environmental concerns are also a challenge for the city because many people toss the lock key into the water.
We can cut the locks off, but we can't get the keys out. So we are going to monitor it. We're not going to go out and cut off every lock each time, but we are going to monitor it and hope that people choose to show their love in other ways.